Hello everyone, I'm Krasi. I will be speaking about the next lunar month completely, starting from the appearance of the moon, which is happening on the 17th of October, and then we'll be looking day by day what will happen, what are the main aspects, what will they bring to us, and I'll be looking at the 4 months ahead. This is because last 15 days I didn't make my prediction, but that's why now I'll make it for the complete lunar month from the 17th of October, 30 days, 29 days up until the moon will disappear, hiding in the rays of the sun. Now, as you know, this 15 days now, this month is a little bit too interesting. We had just on the 14th, the first eclipse. I spoke in a separate video about this eclipse. And then we're having another one on the 28th of October. Both not very easy, not very benevolent eclipses, but nothing new under the sun. You know, we have eclipses every year. In year 2023, for year 2023, this is the last eclipse. All of them happening on the axis of Libra Aries. Only one, the one that took place on the 14th, was on the axis of Pisces Virgo. And then, as you know, a couple of days ago, the lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, moved. Rahu entered Pisces, Ketu entered Virgo, and this is very significant, very big change. You will see worldwide how the world is changing once again. So we will change with this too, of course. So the next year, 2024, all 4 eclipses will be happening on the axis of Pisces Virgo. And this makes these 2 signs very, very emphasized, very important. I will be mentioning them all the time. So what is important for the next 15 days? Of course, we are in eclipse corridor. Of course, we have to be more careful, not afraid. I'm saying not afraid, not anxious, careful, which would say a little bit more careful when we drive. This is certainly not a moment for important new initiatives, unless you really have to, like you have to, you found a new job, you need to start, of course. But if you can avoid having new beginnings on these dates, this would be better, because this is eclipse corridor. Very, very interesting. People who have sidereal ascendant Pisces or Virgo, or if you have moon in Pisces or moon in Virgo, or if you have them on your midheaven, lower meridian, or if you have sun in Pisces or in Virgo, of course you need to be a little bit more careful, because the eclipses will have serious influence on your horoscope, of course. And this will be also the fact for the next, next year, if you want, because I noticed, not only from experience, I say it's from experience, seeing this in so many horoscopes, but also in the literature. You know, when you have axis of eclipse, such axis emphasized by the eclipse, this axis becomes area which will undergo many changes. So let's say you want to start something new. This is a portal for change. Could be that your choice is totally not the right one for yourself, and after the eclipse you'll find out what you really are meant to do, what is meant to happen to you. This is very important. I noticed this with myself when I had ascendant descendant eclipse. I noticed how whatever I do, other things are happening, the ones that are meant to happen. And I see it with many, many horoscopes. So this is just a note to tell you, we are now in eclipse corridor. When the eclipse is over, which will be 28th, 29th of October, count approximately really 7 days, I would say even 15. And still don't do your new important things. Wait if you can and see, because could be that you will be given signs, you will be having different desires, many things might change also due to your personal choices. So this I wanted to tell you before starting with the next 30 days ahead. Other important thing which will be happening in October, 4th of October, you know, Saturn is turning direct. Well, this is important, you know, because Saturn is now retrograde. When he's retrograde, honestly, I like him more. He's in Aquarius, very strong, needless to say, very, very powerful. You see the changes he's already doing to the world. And he will be turning direct. When he turns direct, you will see things happening more like straight to the point. You will see Saturn already getting busy with bringing to us the karmic changes. Many things you feel after 4th of October will start happening, both for the world, but also for us, especially people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or Aquarius who feel this straight away, or people who are very much ruled by Saturn who feel that maybe they were a little bit delayed. But once again, Saturn is classical malefic planet. When he's retrograde, he's a little bit more benevolent, not that much bringing the the karma lesson to us, softer, better for the finances. Now when he turns direct, I see him as a little bit more difficult. And when you combine this with Rahu Ketu entering Pisces Virgo, keep in mind that Pisces is a sign where Rahu is entering, is a sign which is the 12th house of the zodiac. This is Christianity, this is empathy, this has to do with health, this has to do with spiritual awakening. Rahu and Ketu, I made separate video on this. Take a look at my video. I think I gave some explanations there on Rahu and Ketu in Pisces Virgo. But you see many things that will be changing to the world. If there is also another event which I wanted to talk about in a separate video, which is very important, and these are the solar cycles. We are entering, we have entered a solar cycle which is forming like a peak, and the solar flares, the solar spots will be reaching a peak in 2024. We entered this cycle of 11 years in December of 2019, and you see pandemic and what happened. But still we haven't reached the peak, and the peak we are going to reach mid-2024. And by the way, it was expected the peak to be reached 2025, but the astronomers say it will be 2024. When there is a peak of the solar spots of the solar, then many significant great changes happen to the world. But actually I was meant to speak about the next month ahead. Anyway, if you like to see how these eclipses are influencing your horoscope, I have special reading for this, which is on my website under this video. Anything which is related to this monthly prognosis, of course, can be seen in this special reading, which is announced on my website for this month. Now, continue with the month of October, November, starting 17th of October. Now, interestingly, you see, the first appearance of the moon, which is marking the beginning of the new lunar month, is happening in the 4th degrees of Scorpio. Let me tell you about this 4 degrees of Scorpio. This is significant degree because there you have lots of knowledge. You know, Scorpio is a brilliant sign of knowledge. Scorpio, 8th house, the 8th house of the natural 8th house of the zodiac. Great knowledge you have. In Scorpio, you have hermetic degree. In astrology, in the ancient astrology, we have only 7 such degrees. Only 7. And out of 360 hermetic degrees, which are full with amazing, mind-blowing knowledge. And one of these degrees, the 7th degree, and this particular first section of Scorpio is very, very knowledgeable, and the moon appears there. Of course, classically, you will say the moon is fallen in Scorpio. Yes, the moon is fallen in Scorpio, which shows quite a challenging month ahead, but n squared by Saturn, of course. This shows limitations. This shows that we will be a bit emotionally, not very joyful, not very happy. People will be heavy energies due to eclipse, due to this first appearance of the moon. Well, don't worry, because you see, philosophically, if we look at this, we cannot experience joy if there was no, no sadness, no sorrow. Yes, this will be a little bit difficult month. After that, not so much, but October, November will be quite difficult. See, moon appears and Scorpio and Saturn is squaring, and the moon appears in these very challenging degrees, and the moon appears fallen, and so also the ruler, of the moon, Mars, is in Libra, fallen, invisible with Ketu. This is hard. Yeah, we will be a bit. Our energy will be a little bit suppressed. Health-wise, the month is not brilliant. Energy-wise, also not. But again, the point of informing you is that you, well, be, do your things, do your spiritual work in order not to feel worried, anxious, and so. Now, so 4 degrees of Scorpio. Now, this day is Monday. Actually, it's under the energy of Monday, excuse me. This is 17th of October. This is actually influenced by Monday, because of the first appearance of the moon is happening in the evening on Monday. And it is day of the moon, so of course it is always good to communicate with the rulers of the lunar day, so that we live harmonious life, So if you welcome the sun, you look at the moon, you look at the sun, the moon is ruling the day. You imagine bright green aura, and you can wear Larimar, for example. These days, not good for new beginnings, not good for, for medical interventions. Just be a little bit more careful. Very good for spiritual work, studying, teaching, sharing your knowledge with others. Very good for healing work. Very good for working with nature, doing your agriculture. But really not so much for new beginnings. Then we look at the 18th of October. And this is already, it is Wednesday, it is day of Mercury. And on Wednesday, then the moon will be in a very powerful star, Antares, very powerful, but afflicted by Saturn. It still can be very powerful for working on your self-esteem, for doing spiritual practices, studying psychology, doing psychological practices if you want, working with nature, teaching others, healing work, no new beginnings, no medical interventions. If you travel, you have to do it a little bit carefully. Wednesday, it's day of Mercury. You welcome the sun, Mercury is ruling the day. So imagine the aura around yourself is light, yellow, green, and you can wear emerald. And now we look at the next lunar day. And it is Thursday. Now the moon is in a little bit easier degrees, already very philosophical. Sagittarius, it is the degrees of the, this winter solstice, but also these are the degrees where you have the galactic center, very philosophical, very spiritual. And this is what we can do, trying to buy Venus, sexted out by Saturn. You can travel. Here you can do a little bit more. I'm talking about actually 19th of October. On this day, you can teach others, you can travel, no new beginnings, good for spiritual practices, medical interventions, only if they're not invasive. I wouldn't do, but if you have to really, this day could be a bit better. And this is day of Jupiter. You welcome the sun, Jupiter is ruling the day. You wear citrine and you imagine yellow aura around yourself. And then we have the 20th of October, which is Friday, but we're still under the, because how the ancient astrology is functioning, you start always from the evening. This is where your lunar day is starting. So in the day, you're still under the influence of Jupiter, actually. And this is 5th lunar day. And you can, on this day, you can travel. You can do much more. You can do spiritual practices, medical interventions. If they are not invasive, you can do even beauty procedure, but if not invasive, teach others, study. It's much better. They're working with nature. Venus in the day will be ruling, so you can welcome the sun. Venus is ruling the day, and you can wear rose quartz. Then you have 21st of October. So we have the 21st of October. On the 21st of October, the moon has no course. These days a bit more critical. It means it is not appropriate, certainly, for new initiatives, but we mentioned that the whole first 15 days of the lunar month are not appropriate. No medical interventions, but you can teach others, you can do spiritual work, you can work with the nature. The day is such that we cannot really do so much. It is Saturday, day of the Saturn, so you welcome the sun. Saturn is ruling the day. You can imagine purple aura around yourself, so you can wear amethyst. But the day is really a little bit to stay, not to do so much, except for spiritual practices, to study, to teach others, to work in the nature, agriculture work, and so. Then we have 22nd of October, critical day, 7th lunar day. This is Sunday. You welcome the sun. Sun is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is orange, and you can wear garnet, for example. And this day is critical indeed. So on this day, you can do your, let's say, administration. You can do paperwork. You can do housework, household, but you can certainly not do much in terms of new beginnings, new initiatives. Also not appropriate for medical interventions, not appropriate for, for important initiatives. It is more for stable work like administration or even work which would be household, this type of stuff, but really not to travel, no medical interventions, no beauty procedures, agriculture work, yes. And then we have Monday, 23rd of October, again, the same thing, to be a bit more careful, not to travel, no new beginnings, work with the nature, household work, yes, to do paperwork, administration. This is Monday, day of the moon. You welcome the sun. The moon is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is light green, and you can wear pearl. Then we have 24th of October, which is Tuesday, a little bit critical day to watch out, but it's a very good day for spiritual practices. It's very good day for doing like technological work, technologies, to work, to help others, psychology, to study, to teach. No new initiatives, no new beginnings, no medical interventions. This is already Tuesday, day of Mars. You welcome the sun. Mars is ruling the day. And you can imagine the aura around yourself. When you welcome the sun, you imagine the aura around yourself is red, and you can wear a ruby on this day. But it's a day which is mainly for, agriculture work, some paperwork, work with technologies, innovations, let's say, no new beginnings. And then we have October 25th, which is a Wednesday, 10th lunar day. The moon is passing through very spiritual degrees. This is what we can do: spiritual work, helping others, teaching others, working with technologies, no new beginnings, medical interventions, yes, if they're not invasive. It's Wednesday, day of Mercury. You welcome the sun. You know, Mercury is ruling the day. And you imagine the aura around yourself is green and you can wear emerald. Then we have October 26th, which is Thursday, day of Jupiter. This is a bit now, you know, to be cautious on this day, a little bit critical day. I'm talking about Thursday, 26th of October. No new beginnings, very good for spiritual work, medical interventions, only if they're not invasive and you really have to. Good for teaching others, certainly for helping others. No new beginnings, if you can avoid traveling, is also good. This is Thursday, day of Jupiter. You welcome the sun. You know, Jupiter is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself to be orange and you can wear citrine. Then we have 27th of October, Friday, day of Venus. Also, on this day, to be careful. Good to work with the nature, to help others, spiritual practices, meditation, healing work. Be careful when you travel, no new beginnings. If you do medical interventions, yes, if they're not invasive. And you, this is Friday, day of Venus, you welcome the sun, you know, Venus is ruling the day, and you can imagine purple light aura around yourself, pink or light aura around yourselves, and you can wear pink quartz or tourmaline, let's say. October 28th, Saturday, well, we are approaching already the full moon, which will be the day of the eclipse. Needless to say, 28, 29, even previous day, to be careful, 27, 28, 29, very critical, 30th, very critical. I cannot even speak about these days because we should be careful, you know, we should be careful. This would say, you know, I would not travel these days, no new beginnings, no medical interventions, no beauty procedures because things can go wrong. Do your routine without fears, without worries. This is about 27, 28, 29 to 30, you know, to be more careful, to 30 including. These are days of attention. Without fears, just be more careful. Yes, certainly. Then let's look directly at the 31st, you know. This is Monday or even Tuesday, you know that we're counting from the evening. You know, this would be Tuesday, 31st of October. Well, this day is already day of a waning moon, but we know the first 7 days after eclipse, we're a little bit more careful. Still, non-invasive beauty procedures you may do because Saturn is squaring, so we are careful. You can do planting work or preparing your land, agriculture work. You can do much more spiritual work. You can, no new beginnings, absolutely not. Medical interventions if they're not invasive. This is the Tuesday, day of Mars. You welcome the sun, you know. You know, you welcome the sun, you know, the day is ruled by Mars, so you imagine red aura around yourselves of good energy, health, and you can wear a ruby. Then we have Wednesday, 1st of November, and you see soon Saturn is preparing to become direct. Anyway, the moon is in the first degrees of Gemini, spiritual degrees, but still there you have very martial star. To be a little bit careful, but you can travel, you can study, teach others, do your administration, do your paperwork, no new beginnings, medical interventions, yes, if not invasive. This is Wednesday, you welcome the sun, you know, Mercury is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is yellow and you can wear emerald on this day, a little bit more benevolent day. The same is about 2nd of November, Thursday. Good day for studies, teaching others, some medical interventions, yes. This is day of Jupiter. You welcome the sun. You imagine the aura around yourself is orange, and you can wear citrine. You can travel. You can do much on this day. Much better. Quite benevolent day, I would say, in comparison to the rest of the days. Then 3rd of November, which is Friday, day of Venus. The moon has course, but it's in last degrees, a little bit more critical day. Medical interventions, yes, if not invasive. Study, teaching, sharing your knowledge with others. You can do no new beginnings. Medical interventions, yes, if not invasive. I mentioned about this. Day of Venus, you welcome the sun, you know, the Venus is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is pink, and you can wear pink quartz. Then 4th of November, Saturday, the moon is in not in bad degrees, but afflicted still. Anyway, you can no medical interventions unless they're not invasive because of these degrees. But you can do meditation working to enhance your intuition, working to help others, working in your house, giving more attention to your parents, spiritual practices, philosophical work, psychological work. It is Saturday, you welcome the sun, you know, the sun is, sorry, it's not Saturday, it's day of Saturn, excuse me. You welcome the sun, you know, Saturn is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is purple, and you can wear amethyst on this day. But it's a little bit also to be careful. Then 5th of November, and first day of Saturn being direct, important day of the waning moon. Sunday, you welcome the sun. Sun is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is giving you great health of the solar rays. And you can imagine this beautiful red, healthy, orange, you know, energy to heal you. And you can wear a ruby. And this day is good for, again, working in your house, philosophical, psychological work, healing work, working on your intuition, helping others, giving attention, paying attention to your parents, mother, especially, medical interventions, if not invasive. Yeah. And then we have 6th of November, which is Monday, serious opposition between Moon and Saturn. And this day, you know, this is Monday, you welcome the sun, you know, the day is ruled by the moon. You imagine the aura around yourself to be light green, and you can wear a pearl. Day, which is, well, direct opposition to Saturn. Be a little bit careful what to say. On this day, I would be careful when traveling, new beginnings, no medical interventions. Good for working on your fighting melancholia, anxieties, worries, do spiritual practices, study. It's day of enlightenment, of course. You can work in the nature. It is not for medical interventions, not for new beginnings, but it is great for your own personal psychological work for enlightenment. And then you have Tuesday, 7th of November, same stuff. Moon opposition, the direct Saturn. He's just very strong now. Again, same, to be a bit more careful. This is Tuesday, day of Mars. You welcome the sun. You know, Mars is ruling the day. And you imagine red aura around yourself, so you can wear a ruby. But it's day good to check how strong you are, to work on your fighting depression, melancholy, fears, anxieties, do spiritual work, study, teach others, you know. Then we have 8th of November, which is Wednesday. This day is good exactly for the same, to get rid of fears, bad practices, you know, to work to enhance your self-esteem, fight melancholy, anxiety, worry, work to know, to study, to creative studies, no new beginnings, get rid of bad habits, something that you say, I want to get rid of this certain bad habit, like eating too much chocolate, let's say. So this is 8th of November, Wednesday, day of Mercury. You welcome the sun. Mercury is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is green and you can wear emerald. And now we have 9th of November, which is Thursday. And here the moon is in place, which is beautiful again for knowledge, study, completion of study. Like if you have to really complete important study, something that you've been postponing forever, it's a good moment. You will manage, really, the whole universe will be with you. It's Thursday, day of Jupiter. You welcome the sun. You know, Jupiter is ruling the day. And you imagine light orange aura around yourself, and you can wear citrine. These are days for knowledge, study, health, finding your natural ways to treat health, spiritual work, medical interventions, yes. Completion of negotiations, yes. And now we have Friday, same thing, completion of negotiations, medical interventions, yes. Studying, teaching others, completion of study, completion of writing, completion of paperwork. And it's a Friday, day of Venus. You welcome the sun, you know Venus is ruling the day. You imagine the aura around yourself is light pink, and you can wear tourmaline. And then it's a light last day. We're completing almost the month. I think this is, yes, last day, and then the moon will be invisible. This is 11th of November. It is Sunday. And the moon is passing through important degrees of completion, like completing of study, projects, design, completion of important project paperwork, completion of beauty project, beauty, creative activities, medical interventions. Well, not really. And then you would have 12, 13, 14, 3 days of moon invisibility, which are 3 days when we are more careful. I mentioned to you previously, the ancients on this day would really spend time in the temple or on their own, would meditate, and would not be very active, would be more careful. So it's advisable really to do. Of course, the moon invisibility is happening in Libra, trined by Saturn. So it's not really critical so much, but it is advisable to be careful. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was useful for you. This time I made it for the whole month, simply before last month, last 15 days. I was planning today to do my predictions, but it was not possible. It was such busy period, and I missed the moment. Then I was too late really to make this recording. So now I made it for the full month. So I will do next month to make sure that I really make my prognosis, that nothing is on the way. So all the best to you, and I will make very soon another video. And if you like to see how these eclipses and these important celestial events are working on your personal life and horoscopes, the link is under this video, and it's a special reading only for this month. So all the best. Bye bye.